ready. Let's be honest, right? Unfortunately,
Yes.
Tyre Nichols has become a household name because of his infamous death. And so give us advice. Just go right ahead and talk to us about how to handle our future, our most precious
Yes.
generation.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And really, in situations like this, the first thing that you want to consider is the age, developmental level, and the mental status of your children. And you want to watch them and see how they're reacting and answer any questions they may have honestly and simply. So you're going to maybe limit some of their television watching, limit some of their exposure to social media, but really you have to monitor them. Look for any changes they may have and answer any questions they have honestly, because children understand body language, and our body language will say how we're really feeling. So you can't cover it up. You have to be truthful and be there for them when they have questions, and tell them it's okay to have the feelings they're having.
Right. Let's talk about teenagers. We can't limit their
Right.
online
Yes.
habits. They have phones, they have iPads. How do we talk to them about this? I mean, I would. My child is frightened about the whole thing.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Right. It is. And that's why I wrote my book, Dr. K's 5Ks of Being Okay. It's to help people get through everyday situations just like this, where you're traumatized. This has been happening over and over again for the last 3 years. We've all been dealing with trauma. So we want to give teenagers some specific steps they can use to help them get over those feelings of anxiety. We want to help them learn how to breathe through it. That's the first K. The second K is keep forgiving. Forgive yourself for how you feel, forgive others for how they're going to treat people. Then you want to keep being thankful. They can be thankful for the things they have, be thankful for their lives. Keep talking. Talk about how you feel. Talk to your friends, but most importantly, talk to trusted adults who can actually give you information, and then keep planning with them. You're going to talk with them about what their plans are for the future, what they think the city should do to make sure this never happens to anybody. Maybe some things they can do as individuals to make them feel empowered in situations like this. Oftentimes, kids feel like all the adults have the power, but kids have power too. And we just want to help them make the right decisions about how to use that power.
And you know, Dr. Streeter, this is Joe Birch here at Action News 5.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone in government who is paying attention, including the President of the United States, has had a comment on this case today. The President made a statement earlier today that we'll be presenting, and we've used a clip from a short time ago. But might a strategy be, in talking with a child about this, that it's an unfortunate set of circumstances. It is unfortunate that this happened. This is not the way it's supposed to go. And everyone from the president on down to the mayor and all our city council is concerned about the future of the city, which involves you young people. And might that be a strategy to say, we're on it, and we're trying to do something about this, and we're trying to make this world a place that'll be more peaceful and welcoming to you?
It's very, very important that we reestablish safety and trust for our kids. And so it's very important for them to know that we are working on it, that we're working on it together, that this more than likely will never happen again. It hardly ever happens. Most policemen are doing the job they're supposed to be doing, but these are ones who didn't. And we're working to ensure that nothing like this happens again. And then telling them you can help too, and then seeing if they have questions and answering those questions. But really establishing their safety is going to be very important for us getting them back to school and making sure they're able to be healthy in their everyday lives in terms of their emotional status.
All right, Dr. Streeter, and just one final question for you here before we let you go. And
Yes.
I apologize, I don't know if you've maybe answered this, and the question just kind of
That's
popped out. Do you have an answer on whether parents should show this? The ones who can control. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
I mean, if a mom or dad is out there wondering, because they're going to see it, what's your advice on should they show it to them?
You have to think about three things. You have to think about the age of your child, their developmental level, and their emotional status. If you have a child who's very, very young and who may not see it, I probably wouldn't show it to them. They probably won't understand what's happening. But as kids get older, especially once they're school age, they may see it. And you only want to expose it to them as they are able to tolerate it. So you have to watch them, and you want to only give as much information about it as the child is asking. So younger children, they may not really see a whole lot about it, and you can give them a simple answer like something awful happened, this should not have happened, the person is now gone to be in heaven or wherever you think they should be, and that probably will help that child. But for those older children, you're probably gonna have to show it to them and sit down with them, watch it with them, watch how they're reacting so that you can help them kind of walk through each one of the steps, because it's going to be triggering for certain people, for sure. It's going to be triggering. And if you know that, you can plan for it.
Well, certainly solid and sound advice
Yes.
coming from Dr. Karen Streeter there, a psychologist and accomplished author. Dr. Streeter, thank you so much because, again, as you know, and Bess well said, it's interesting. I'm listening to her give advice on how to protect our children, our babies, and I'm taking it for myself.
Yes.
You know, as adults, because we have to prepare for this mentally as well, and we have to be strong for our children. So, excellent advice that you have given us. Thank you so much for taking the time here to be with us today.
We are all
And thank you
parents
so much
here.
for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Streeter. We are all parents here, and we are, some of us are grandparents. And so we so love our families, as all of our viewers do. And so we're going to switch